also good for the cattle rustler in Baragoi, and it's very good for the beach boy in Watamu. These are the people. These are the wanainchi. Not a person bearing the titles Honourable or His Excellency. Any person bearing the titles Honourable or His Excellency, purporting to be the people, wanainchi, is a sheep, is a wolf in a sheep's skin. And my Lord, a special invitation to this court is this. There has been conflicting submissions on who the promoter of the bill is. On one hand, the Attorney General, in his submissions at paragraph 69, says that the initiative is the BBI initiative, a voluntary alliance of political parties. That is the description. But they come before here, and there have been conflicting narrations of who is the promoter or who is the initiator. To that extent, the exact finding that I'm asking this court to make is this: whether the appellants have approached this court with clean hands to warrant upsetting the decision of the High Court. That is the question. Should you find that the conflicting decisions, submissions they've made, then they do not warrant the overturning of the decision of the High Court. My Lord, this shift reminds me still of the words of Chinua Achebe in his book, Things Fall Apart, when he narrates about one character called Okonkwo. And Okonkwo writes like this and says like this: when I hold her hand, she says, don't touch. When I hold her foot, she says, don't touch. But when I hold her waist beads, she pretends not to know. The question is, my lords, that when you hold the waist beads of the appellants and ask them, who is the initiator of this proposed bill, they pretend not to know. That is the finding, my Lord, that I want you to make. For my Lord, the question is that where the court holds, the question is, my Lord, that the principle of constitutionalism would behoove this court to start like this, that expressio unius est exclusio alterius. To what extent am I saying this, my Lord? I make reference to our document, a bundle of authorities. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island, in the Constitutional Convention of 1883, found at page 887 of volume 2, stated this to that principle: we are of the opinion that the mode provided in the Constitution for the amendment thereof is the only mode in which it can be constitutionally amended. The ordinary rule is that where power is given to do a thing in a particular way, there the affirmative words marking out the particular way prohibit all other ways by implication, so that the particular way is the only way in which this power can be legally executed. My lords and my ladies, on to my first point, whether this court should order His Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to refund the public monies used in the unconstitutional constitutional process. My lords, on this is a novel issue for the following reasons. No court in Kenya has made a determination on Article 226(5) of the Constitution. In the whole of Africa, South Africa in 2018 is the only democratic country that ordered His Excellency President Jacob Zuma to refund approximately 1 billion shillings used in construction of his house. That was the taxpayers' money. And my lords, the history of the erstwhile Constitution of Kenya, with its 6 provisions on public finance, never provided for a provision akin to Article 226(5). And for that reasons, my lord and my ladies, the High Court's findings and declarations at paragraphs 784 to 785 of their judgment, respectively, were sufficient for an order to make good the loss of public funds. No evidence was needed for that order to be made. No evidence. It is strict liability. No evidence was needed. And if any evidence was needed, it was the evidence in the special knowledge of the appellants. Section 112. He who